So if you think that maybe there's some areas that you want to shift or develop an internal locus of control, or maybe you want to help someone on your team, here's 3 ways that you could do that. Okay. Number one, and this is the most useful thing. I don't remember who told me this a long time ago, but whenever something doesn't go as planned, whether that's big or small, right? But whenever something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself what role you played in it ending up the way that it ended up. Okay. And the thing is, always do this. Always do this. Okay. So even because in life, there are many things that influence what happens, right? And so for instance, before this call started, Greg and I were talking about this ridiculous rock dig that he had, where he had 52 hours of rock to dig through, and it was literally he's done 100+ rock digs in his life. This was the hardest, most ridiculous rock that he's ever hit, and all that is true. Right? Like there's all these external things that he had no control over, the rock or the type of rock or any of that. Right. But if he just blames the rock and the bad luck, there's no power there. Well, what the fuck, part of my language, but what the fuck is he supposed to do the next time this happens? Like just be powerless again? There's no power in just blaming the external, even though it is a real reason for part of the challenge that you have. But since you can't control it, don't focus on it. Focus on what you can control. So some of the things that Greg and I were talking about before the call was, how can his sales guy have a better conversation about rock charges in general before or at contract signing, setting a slightly better expectation, And then also Greg was talking about how, he learned that how through his verbiage and talking with his client in this case, how next time he's probably going to say things a little differently so that she doesn't get a crazy expectation that she's about to get a bunch of free rock charges or something, because someone's got to pay the digger. I'm pretty sure Greg's not planning on doing that all out of his pocket, even though he's that nice of a guy. Maybe not that nice. But anyways, the whole idea though is that if something doesn't go as planned, although even if 95% of why shit hit the fan was outside of your control, search for the 5% that was within your control. Because when you lean on the 5% you can control, it gives you power, it gives you agency, it gives you confidence, and it gives you something to do with your energy, okay, than just dwell on bullshit. Okay, if you just focus on all the shit that you couldn't control, then you literally just going to sit there and be upset.